3, 2, 1, go. You are listening to The Bad Boy Radio Show with Mr. Locario and Miles Cunningham. This is that real shit, not that fake shit. The only radio show that's not afraid to tell you the truth about the game. This is The Bad Boy Radio Show. Remember, the truth is inside you.
Yeah, people. What up?
Uh-huh.
What's going on? You have tuned into The Bad Boy Show with Mr. Locario and Miles Cunningham. Miles is in the studio. You
What's
feel me?
going on?
What's popping? What's going on, Miles?
Yo, chilling, man. I just came in off a flight, man. This businessman entrepreneurial shit is real shit, son.
It is real shit, man.
When you trying to build your empire, it ain't no game, son. You gotta go hard, man. What's going on with you, bro?
I'm chilling. We was out all day today. For those who don't know, we're going on like a few hours of sleep, but we got to make it do what it do. So if you hear like some hissing in the background, that's because we got the fans on. Because we like fuck turning the fans off. It's too hot.
It's too hot.
It's too fucking hot. Okay, we would fucking die in here.
It's too hot in the studio. We need some donations for air conditioning.
Exactly. So you guys can donate whenever. You know what I'm saying? But today we're going to be talking about the different types of women you're going to, meet in the dating game. You feel what I'm saying? Because there's different types of girls that you're going to run into, and you got to know which ones you're dealing with and know how to, maneuver and make shit happen, in the game. You feel me? But before we get into that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get into some news. You guys are listening to The Bad Boy Show.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.
Introducing Ital Roots Jamaican Roots Drink, a perfect blend of health-enriching tropical fruits and naturally powerful male libido-enhancing herbs. Voted best-tasting roots drink in the market and made from superior high-end holistic natural materials. The main ingredient in Ital Roots is Cheney root, a well-known tropical aphrodisiac discovered in Jamaica for men with low energy or low sex drive. It's very high in iron content. This makes it excellent for cleansing and building up the blood cells wherever your body needs it. Buy on Amazon.com or JuiceForLifePlus.com. That's juice, the number 4, life, PLUS.com.
Yeah, we back, people. We are back in this shit.
Are we back?
We are so back, okay?
What? You know niggas are tired.
Exactly. Shit, man. But listen, there's some stuff that's been happening in the news, okay?
Nice.
So the first thing we're gonna talk about is Donald Trump in Korea. I don't know what's happening with that shit. Miles is the guy who pays attention to all that nonsense. So you got to tell him what's going on with this nigga.
Well, it's just been a back and forth thing between North Korea and America, and it seems like it's more like North Korea and Trump, because like for whatever reason Trump, he doesn't want North Korea to like test any of their missiles or to have any nuclear weapons and whatever. And North Korea has been testing their nuclear weapons, like, I guess you can say in defiance of, America's wishes and stuff. And I mean, you know how America is. They always love to go to other countries and try to tell people what to do and act like they policing the world and all of this and all of that. Now, mind you, a lot of North Korea's, ballistics or their missiles or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
A lot of this stuff doesn't work really well. Hence, which is why they test so much, because there have been a lot of reports showing like their missiles don't go where they're targeted. Right. They malfunction on the way up. They don't explode. They don't. I mean, they're just really. They have a lot of technology, but they need to test it to actually make sure it works. And so far, a lot of this stuff hasn't been working. And so it's like a back and forth between America and North Korea. Now, the real reason why it's news this week is because North Korea is basically threatening the United States, saying that if they keep meddling with North Korea's affairs, that North Korea is gonna, I think the phrase was, hail down fire on the United States. And then like Trump said in a meeting, he was like, if North Korea doesn't submit, then they will be subject to like the worst attack, or the worst thing in history, like the worst fury of any country's army in history, and all of this shit. You know how Trump speaks. He's always about everything's tremendous and you know what I'm saying, like
huge and crazy,
and all this shit. So he's talking a lot of shit, but it's really just some back and forth stuff. Now, why is this important? I mean, a lot of this stuff is important because if the country goes to war, there's a lot of stuff that will be affected, like the economy. And if you're a business person, or even if you have a job, it's gonna affect you in some way. You're gonna have to pay more taxes or whatever. So it's something to kind of keep an eye on, just to see what's going on. So North Korea and America, round one. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's winning. Everybody's just talking shit right now.
It's crazy, man. Like, I just sometimes I stare at the ceiling, and I wonder, like, what does this all mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is the point? And this brings me to the next story. Is there was a white supremacist rally.
Oh my god.
Of and so one person got killed.
And this was in Charleston, I think South Carolina,
or one of them joints.
And don't get it twisted. The racism in South Carolina is beautiful. Okay?
Is it in South Carolina? I don't even.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's one of the motherfucking places. You understand? And so there's this protest or this rally where these white supremacists, they're saying that white lives matter. And they think they're under attack. They had, I think, one of the dudes from the KKK saying that, they feel like, they're trying to fulfill the whole agenda of like Trump, saying that they want to make America great again. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. It's Charlottesville, Virginia. Charlottesville, Virginia.
There we go. So, and Virginia's rate. Didn't you get locked up in Virginia?
Oh, yes, I got locked up in Virginia.
Oh, my God. Terrible.
And none other than my man's 50 grand, Mr. Lucario bailed the nigga out, lickety split.
Exactly.
And I was home the next day.
Exactly. And the only reason I was able to even bail this guy out was because you guys joined the Bad Boy membership. So basically, you bailed Miles out of the goddamn shits.
Thank you,
know
guys.
What I'm saying?
Thank you so much.
If it wasn't for you guys being in the Bad Boy membership and your donations, we wouldn't have been able to bail Miles out of jail. Okay,
Real talk.
So this
Real
is
talk.
why we love you guys. Okay,
I thank each and every one of you.
So they had this white supremacist rally up in Charlottesville or whatever the fuck it's called, and this dude he ran over somebody with a car.
Right.
And they're fighting out there. They're going crazy.
A fight broke out, and I want to point this out because I saw one of the videos, because I think there was more than one brawl that broke out, but I just want to say that it was white on white violence. It was white on white violence. Let's keep that in mind, people.
Can we say that again though?
At the rally, the video I saw of a brawl breaking out at the Charlottesville, Virginia white supremacist rally, the brawl was a white on white attack.
You see, and this is why I don't get when white people are always complaining about black people and this and that. It's all this white on white crime in their communities.
What?
That's the thing that's
I mean, it pains me how these savages live.
You know what
I mean, we need more community centers for these young white savages.
I'm like, God damn it. White people, chill, okay?
If they would just stop listening to Justin Bieber,
right?
And pay more attention and have more respect for themselves.
Exactly. That's what. And you know what? You know what's funny? This is the fucked up part about this whole shit, right? Is that the reason why this shit is even happening, and it's even like, because look, there will never be no like black type of rally like this. You understand what I'm saying? Because it would get shut the fuck down
immediately.
You see what I'm saying? But see, when it comes to a white supremacist, type of environment, they're allowed to do that. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you have a spoiled kid. You know when you see those spoiled kids in the supermarket and they're crying in the middle of the aisle and their mom don't know what to do? Mm-hmm. That's what a white supremacist is. Mm-hmm. They're spoiled kids. You feel what I'm saying? And so what happens is that when you give somebody a situation where you spoil them and they can do whatever the fuck they want and there's no repercussions,
right? This
is what happens. You see what I'm saying?
It's real interesting because at a black protest, the cops are on deck. Like, exactly. As soon as Al Sharpton announces that there's going to be a march or something, the cops are ready. Mm-hmm. You understand? Right. I'm watching the video and these white kids is, of course you got some, they're talking about, white lives matter, and they're pumping their fists and white power and da-da-da-da. Right. And then you have the other kids who are like on the other side where it's like, unity, all lives matter, da-da-da-da, right? Not one cop in sight. Mm-hmm. Not one cop in sight. Even when they started fighting, I didn't see a siren. Right. I didn't hear a siren, see a flashing light, nothing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's it's just like you said, they're spoiled brats and they get away with anything. Right. But as soon as a black person says, look at Colin Kaepernick. Right. All he did was take a knee during the Pledge of Allegiance. Mm-hmm. Right. And now he can't find a job in the NFL. And he's still better than, this is arguable, but it is my understanding that he's better as a player, as a football player, right, than like half of the quarterbacks in the league. Right. Arguably speaking. Mm-hmm. And he can't find a job simply because of, they're quote unquote blackballing him because of what he did. You see what I'm saying? And then you got these white supremacists out here that could just run amok. They're running people over, killing people. Right. And it's okay. Everything is all right. Right. Like, you see what I'm saying? That's how it goes. But it's just is what it is. If these white savage kids would pick up themselves by the bootstraps, exactly, and take responsibility for their own actions, exactly, then the world would be a better place, right? You know what I mean? And what's fucked up though is that I feel like it sounds more true saying it that way about white folk. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you're a white dude and you failed, right, in life, then you really failed in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really failed in life. You almost have no excuse. You're like, because if you're a black guy, you could always say racism. Exactly. That's a part of black privilege, right, or minority privilege. Right. It's like I can say, well, I'm a fuck up because people racist out here. But when you a white guy, especially, what is your excuse? What's your excuse? Like, you're really a loser. You feel what I'm saying? I'm serious. Pull yourself up by your Nautica bootstraps. Pull yourself up by your Gucci bootstraps. I'm just saying. And take the world by storm. I'm just saying. It's crazy. But anyway, so in other news, your girl Ashley Judd, right? Oh. She just found out about Facebook Live. So she got excited. Oh my god! And went on Facebook Live to complain about some worker at the airport or something. I think it was a TSA worker. Yeah, and I think he called her sweetheart or something. Right. And complimented her dress, and she's like, oh, and he touched me, right? And so she's on Facebook. She's like, I can't believe this happened, and this is why we need feminism because he was like, oh, this guy called me sweetheart, and why would he say that to me? And that's whatever. And I'm like, well, first of all, weren't they like in the South or some shit? Yeah, they were someplace in the South, right? Yeah. And that's just how they talk down there, right? Down there, yeah. Then she said, oh, I think she said he complimented me on what I was wearing, but she was like, how come he didn't compliment anyone else? I didn't hear him compliment anyone else. Those are her words. Right. And well, maybe he thought that you actually had a nice thing on. So when I compliment someone, I have to compliment everybody in the room. Of course. Make it all equal, because we're all equal. Exactly. Like, I can't just compliment you. No, the part that was funny to me was after she said that the guy touched her. Uh-huh. He probably was ushering her into the security line how he touched her, right? Because she didn't really explain. Yeah, she didn't explain how he exactly. Him actually touching her was probably a null and void argument, right? But then after that, she said, my skin is burning. So my skin is burning. You know, I already feel insulted. So I asked to speak to one of his managers, and I'm like, oh.
See, she's one of those.
See, and the fucked up part is Ashley Judd did a couple of good movies back in the day,
right?
And I used to like her. She did this movie called Double Jeopardy,
yeah,
with Tommy Lee Jones,
right?
And it was a dope movie. And she did a couple other movies that I like, and I thought she was cool. But man, I was just thoroughly disappointed. Man.
You see, you can never meet the people you admire.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Because if I met Ashley Judd and I was like, "Yo, those are a nice pair of jeans. They fit you good," she'd probably get mad.
Exactly right. Because what if you wanted to holler at Ashley Judd? You can't. Ashley Judd is unhollerable. You feel what I'm saying? Like you can't holler at her, because if you say hi to her, she'd be like, "Hi? What do you mean hi? Like, how could you say hi to me? That's very insulting to say hi. Like, you know, like she's gonna be on that bullshit. So you gotta, you know, and this is what we're talking about today too. We're gonna be talking about the different types of chicks. That's one of the types. We're gonna get into that a little bit later. But anyway, so in other news, there was a man who got 16 years.
Oh, this is beautiful.
And he's again 16 years for scamming women on online dating sites. And if I'm not mistaken, from the article it said he focused on BBWs. So that's big, beautiful women chicks. So basically, he would go out with these girls, date them, you know, hang out with them, whatever. And then I think he said something about he's like a stockbroker or he does something with money. So he would get these women to give him money. And he was getting upwards up to like 100 grand to about 250 grand, I think, around that area. Woman? I think so, yeah. Or a combination of that. And so he's been doing it for like I think 2 years, and then now, you know, it caught up to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, listen, I just want to explain something real quick. I just realized why he concentrated on the BBWs.
Right.
The BBWs know that they have to have money, right? And
crazy.
Another reason why BBWs have money is because nobody's asking them out on dates, so they get to stay in their dorm rooms and get PhDs and masters and shit,
right?
Because nobody's distracting them to take them out on a date,
right?
And look, look, I say this, and I'm a I'm a chubby nigga, like
you're BBM,
BBM. You know, like I got work to do too, so I'm not saying it to insult anyone or whatever, you know, but it's the truth. Like that's how, especially the women, because you could be a dude and be big, but if you got confidence, you spit that game. You see what I'm saying?
Right. You're
but
right.
Most chicks who are BBW, they get degrees, my nigga.
That is true.
They get degrees and they have bread. They have bread because there's nobody hollering at them to distract them from their studies. It's crazy.
And they give good head.
They give the superb head
because they have to. You understand?
But you know, and another thing why he targeted them is because they're trusting. They're so happy to have a guy show some type of interest in them.
Right.
It was probably super easy for him to run game and get them to give him the money.
Yeah.
Especially if he showed like, you know, because when you're scamming somebody, as long as you show credible looking information,
right?
Boom. And then on top of that, she got her degrees. She thinks she's smart and shit.
Right.
So she's like, well, this looks like a good investment.
Right.
Get the nigga the money and then it's a wrap. God damn.
Man, I'm telling you, people out here be scamming, you know, taking people's shit that's not theirs. You feel what I'm saying? So we're not going to get into that today, okay?
Whoa, that guy should be ashamed of himself.
Exactly. We're not going to get into that today, but, you know, we'll talk more about that later. But anyway, so in other news, Alabama court rules that teachers can now have sex with their students, man. It's going down, people. It's going down.
I need to rewind the clock and move to Alabama.
So I think what it is, but I still think it's more so if the student is of age.
Right,
so,
right.
You know, I know in certain, like, I'm not sure what's the age of consent in Alabama. What is it, 17, 18, 16? I don't know.
It might be younger. It might be younger than the average because I think even in Georgia,
right,
it's 16.
Right. So the thing is that they ruled that, you know, people, you know, teachers could have sex with the students because they said, like, if it was, let's say you have like a 18-year-old student and they were to meet someone outside on the regular. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, well, you know, they could have sex with that person. So why not be able to have sex with the teacher just because she's the teacher or because he's the teacher? You see what I'm saying?
And you can get yourself a better grade too.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
there was this funny there's some website where they were showing a whole bunch of funny like Tinder profiles and stuff, and you know, people message back and forth.
Right.
So they had this profile where this guy matched with his college professor, right? So they matched, and then he said to her, he was like, "Hey, you know, I'm in your like your history lecture or some shit or whatever."
Right.
And then so she was like, "Oh, I know." You know, she was like, "Yeah, I know who you are." So then he said, "Hey, if I hit it, can I get an A?" You know, he said, "If I hit it right, can I get an A?" And then she was like, she wrote, "Excuse me?" And he was like, "Oh, I meant to say, what's the homework for?" So he tried to to shoot his shot and see what's popping.
Good for him.
You know what I'm saying?
Shooting your shot is important.
Because I'm like, yo, if you I feel like if you smash your professor, she got to give you a good grade or at least mark you on the curve or something. You know what I'm saying?
I bet you R. Kelly's about to buy a home in, where is this, Alabama?
Right.
He's gonna buy a house in that county.
Hell yeah.
And get a couple more of his young cult chicks to follow him there.
Right. Oh man. So in other news, so Drake and Future,
oh my god,
are allegedly being sued for 25 million of them things by a woman who claimed she was raped at their show. So, you know, Drake and Future came out with that whack-ass album, What a Time to Be Alive, and they were, you know, I guess performing it and shit or whatever. And so there was a woman at the concert, and then some dude claimed that he knows Drake and he knows Future and he can get her backstage to meet them. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So she was like, all right, cool, let's make it happen. So then what happened was when he was like, I guess, trying to, you know, supposedly getting her backstage or whatever it was, he shoved her in some corner and raped her. That's the story. So now she's suing Drake and Future. But I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, how you going to sue Drake and Future for some random dude who lied to you and did some shit to you? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is Drake and Future?
Why not try to sue the dude?
Right. You know what I'm saying?
But you probably didn't get his name because you were so thirsty to go backstage with Future and Drake.
Right. So I'm just like, that shit's crazy. It's like when you get money and, you know, you're famous or you got some notoriety or whatever. It's like you gotta watch out because people will sue you for anything. You know what I'm saying?
Even stuff that don't have nothing to do with you.
Exactly, like have nothing to do with you.
Imagine, I would be so pissed to have to go get a lawyer for some shit I didn't even do. Right. And it's obvious I didn't do it.
Right. That's like you know, that's like I could sue Rihanna right now. I could be like, well, Rihanna was on stage gyrating so much that it got me so horny that I had to go to the bathroom and beat off. And then since I went to the bathroom and beat off, I missed half the concert. And so she owes me for the tickets and for messing up my pants with the jizz. And for, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all her fault. You know what I mean? So it's like you never know. So you gotta watch out with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, look, let's take a subscriber email real quick before we go on break, okay? Because we gotta get this shit popping. So this one says, good day. He said good day. Good day. I have a question. He said, how is it that women reject me even more as I'm applying the game into my lifestyle? There are many cases in which I can't even apply the game because there are lots of women that either don't even respond to my texts or do respond to them but don't want to go anywhere further with them. For example, I told this girl this. I said, message me on WhatsApp so that we can discuss more. And she rejected me by saying, it's okay if we just chat on Facebook. I mean, literally, I couldn't even give her my number and show her how confident I am. I'm very confused as many people tell me I'm handsome and that I'm really popular on social media. But nevertheless, I've never even had my first kiss. What? He said, I'm literally struggling to meet new women online and to drag them to dates. via my new learnt game. At this moment, I'm not necessarily sad that I barely get a few women to talk to, but I'm really astonished at the greater number of rejects from them.
Wow.
All right, so did he say he hasn't even gotten his first kiss? Is that what we're dealing with? Okay, so this is the thing. What happens is, right, and this is probably like the big mistake that most guys make in the game, and you know, and this is not even just with dealing with women. This goes all across the board in life when they're trying to have success, right? Is that what most people do is they're trying to get the best shit. They're trying to get the most shit with the minimum amount of effort. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is that because what he's saying, he's like, you know, I'm talking to these girls and, you know, they're rejecting me, or I try to make something happen and she's giving me the runaround, or this and this and that. And I'm saying, yo, that happens anyway. It's going to happen. Right. Period.
Right.
Period. You understand? But see, the difference between a guy who gets something going and a guy who doesn't is that the guy who gets something going, right, he talked to 50 or 60 girls and he went through like 50 girls who was on some bullshit. You understand? And then by the time he got to the 51st girl, she was fucking with him, and the 52nd and 53rd was fucking with him, right?
Right.
But see, the other guy, he goes through like 5 girls and he's like, he gives up. Or he says, well, it's not working for me, or how come these girls are rejecting me? How come this girl said this and said that? And so they're focusing on a limited amount of girls and expecting huge results. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But see, the thing is, people never want to admit or to understand that the whole game is a numbers game, and it's a numbers game coupled with your level of how much game you have. So the tighter your game is, the less it's going to be a numbers game for you. You understand what I'm saying? But it's always going to be a numbers game, but it's going to be less of a numbers game the tighter your game is. Now, the weaker your game is, the more of a numbers game it's going to be. It's always a balance. So if your game is weak, you're going to have to talk to more women to be able to get something going. If your game is tight, you're going to have to talk to less women to get more shit popping. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is that it sounds like this guy, he's in a stage where he hasn't really had any, he basically hasn't had any success, where he's talking about he's never even had his first kiss,
right?
You know, so he's probably new to doing certain things. So what I would tell him is that he needs to, first talk to more women, but also at the same time, he needs to tighten up his game and also understand that the bullshit he's going through is part of it. You understand? You have to accept that the bullshit you go through is part of it. You see what I'm saying?
Can I ask? Yeah, can you go back to the thing?
But to the email?
Now, the part where he said she rejected me by saying such and such.
So he said, where is this? He said
she
that
rejected me. Okay.
He said, I told her a message on WhatsApp so that we'll discuss more. She rejected me by saying it's okay if we is it okay if we chat on Facebook?
Now listen. Okay. First of all, that doesn't count as a fucking rejection.
Right.
Okay? Now, that right there shows me where your mind is at. If you're looking at a woman not cooperating with you because you want to change social media venues,
right?
That's like, to me personally, social media shit and like messaging on these social media platforms don't really count as rejections,
right?
Because, but then again, I don't even know what rejection sounds like. Like, I don't. My mind is different to the point where it's not even rejection anymore. Like, I don't know what it really sounds like. But for you cats who still deal in the realm of rejection, shit like that, where she says, "Nah, let's keep talking on here." That's not a rejection. That's you just dealing with a chick that, like, either she just don't want to cooperate or whatever,
right? And
she's charged to the game, so. Actually, she rejected herself, if anything.
Right.
If anything. But what it seems like to me is he's doing a lot of social media messaging shit.
Right.
Like, nigga, come with a story about you in the street, you at the bar, you on the on your commute. You meet a girl at a party. You do like a face-to-face thing. You explained in the email that people say that you're handsome.
Right.
So why are you messaging these chicks back and forth? They probably think you got a fake picture. Why they don't want to keep talking to you on WhatsApp or whatever the fuck it is. You understand what I'm saying? Get your ass in the street and do some real work. All that messaging shit, I don't even count it. I don't even count it because it's really just all that Tinder and social media stuff. That's for people who don't have time to really meet people in person.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So to me, it doesn't weigh as much as when you're actually out, making real contact with real people. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can't really call that a rejection, and you shouldn't be taking it that seriously. You see what I'm saying? You shouldn't be thinking about it like that. You should be out there trying to meet people, and then the social media stuff is just like a passing thing where it's like, well, I got a little bit of time to swipe, or I got a little bit of time to try to message a couple of these girls. Then you message them and just keep it moving.
Right. And because even in the email he said I'm really popular on social media, but nevertheless I've never even had my first kiss. You see what I'm saying?
And again, social media, you're dealing with a lot of attention whores.
Right.
You're dealing with a whole lot of attention whores that are not even really about meeting people necessarily. They just want attention. They want to see likes. They want to see followers. They want to see messages. It makes them feel good when they have a new message to go look at. It's not that they're interested in you. They're interested in the message. They're interested in social media activity.
Right.
You understand? That's what I'm saying. To me, it doesn't count as much as meeting somebody in the street, at a bar, at a lounge, in the supermarket, you know what I'm saying? At the store, at the bookstore, wherever. Like, get up and do some real work. Get your approach on and really spit game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I feel like, he has to get more in the trenches. He has to get more, interaction. He has to start really talking to these chicks, closing the deal, you know what I'm saying? Like setting dates up, different things like that. And, building sexual tension, flirting, all this other stuff.
He also mentioned about showing his confidence.
Right.
He said he didn't even get a chance to show the girl his confidence. What confidence are you showing by trying to do all of this shit just by messaging back and forth?
Right. So it's like, he has to be more in it. You feel what I'm saying?
You definitely do.
And I think that, once he gets himself a little bit more into the game, into the zone of actually making things happen, because right now it seems like he's like extremely on the sidelines. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And he's not really getting his hands dirty. And that's the thing that most people, it's like, when you see a person in the gym and they don't even sweat. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
they spend most of their time talking.
Right. It's like,
you're one of those guys who talk a lot in the gym because you're popular at the gym. Everybody knows you because instead of working out, you fucking talk.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. You see what I mean? And so you got to start sweating. You got to start doing that shit, and then that's when you're going to start seeing results. You feel what I mean? And that's how it is in the game. It's like it's the same way where you in the gym. If you sweat and you losing them calories and shit, and you burning them calories, and you fucking really working it, and you start building that muscle. Same thing in the game. If you are actually out there in the trenches putting in that work, that's when you're going to see the results. Other than that, it's just you're kind of just coasting. You understand? You're getting the thing where you're sort of saying you're doing stuff, but you're not really doing stuff. And this is why I say it's applicable to like other things in life, because this is what a lot of people do. A lot of people do the talking and the planning, but they don't do the doing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So a lot of people are very, it's like they're not really in motion. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's sort of like, oh, I have this plan to make this happen, and I want to, do these things, and I'm sort of talking to some people, and I have this idea, and I'm trying to make this happen, and blah, blah, blah. But they're not really putting any action towards anything tangible. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the difference between a person who says, hey, I have this business plan and I'm trying to look for an investor to give me money and yada, 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 versus someone who already created the business, created the product, started to sell, and then they say, hey, listen, I've sold this many copies of my product, and now I want you to invest in me so that we can double this or whatever. You see what I mean?
Right.
Because it's the action. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So you guys got to get more into the action of the game, and that's when you're going to start to see more things happen and more results. You see what I mean? So that's pretty much it. Listen, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into the topic. We're going to be talking about the different types of women you are going to run into in the game. You guys are listening to The Bad Boy Show. Do you want to learn the easiest way to have more sex with more women? Then get the critically acclaimed book, How to Have Sex with 2 Women a Day. In this book, you'll learn everything you need to know about attracting and sleeping with beautiful women. That's How to Have Sex with 2 Women a Day. Get your copy today at MrLocario.com. That's MrLocario.com. MrLocario.com. Are you an actor who needs headshots? Do you have an event or a wedding coming up and you need a photographer? If you do, make sure you go to PavionPhoto.com. Pavion is a professional photographer who will supply you with high-quality video and photography services for any event. Contact him at PavionPhoto.com. That's PAVION Photo.com. PavionPhoto.com. All right, people. We are back. We are back on The Bad Boy Show. And, today's topic, we're going to be talking about, the different types of women you're going to run into in a dating game, right? Because there's so many chicks out here, and you're going to run into so many different types of girls. And you're going to, if you don't understand these types, you're going to be sort of confused. You're not going to know what to do. Some of these girls you don't really even need to fuck with. Some of these girls you can, continue to make something happen with. And so we're going to talk about these today. So we got a list of different types of women. We're going to go through all of these, today. All right. So first one we're talking about, the feminist / social justice warrior. Okay. Those are the chicks that you're going to run into, just like we were talking about with Ashley Judd. You understand? So, those type of women who everything is a problem. Like you being a man and existing is a problem. You understand what I'm saying? So, these types of women, these are like the women you need to stay far, 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 far away from in a lot of cases. You understand? Because, the problem with these women is that a lot of them, they have this ideology about feminism and everything is equal and a woman could do everything a man could do, and everything is a problem, street harassment, you're oppressing me, this and this and that, all this other garbage. And so when you're dealing with a feminist or a social justice warrior, what happens is that there's always going to be a constant fight and struggle, especially if you are a masculine man. Now, if you're a beta male, then, it could work out, because you being a beta male or fucking mangina or even a male feminist, she'll entertain that because it makes her feel justified in her nonsense. You see what I'm saying? So, but the thing is that if you're actually a masculine guy, a guy who is, who has a decent sex drive, who actually looks at women, as people he likes to fuck, you understand? If you're looking at women like that, they're going to have an issue with you because they don't like the fact that you are masculine. You understand? That's really all it is. And so a lot of times, these girls, 99.9% of them you're going to have to charge to the game, because these type of women are also dangerous as hell to be around. You understand? Because you could just be doing any type of thing, just some regular shit, and they'll misinterpret it as, you were forcing yourself on me. You did this, you did that, and it's like, no, I wasn't. I was just sitting here, I was chilling here, I was just having a conversation,
right?
And it's like they'll say like you attacked them, or you did something really bad towards them because of something you said that offended them or whatever. Just like the Ashley Judd shit, where she's like, the guy touched me and he complimented. Like, the fact that you can compliment someone and it's an issue,
right?
That's insanity. You see what I'm saying?
Remember that video a while back where the lady was walking past the guy's house and he said good morning?
Right.
And the freaking lady got mad and tried to call the cops on him?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So that happens, man. That happens. So you guys got to sort of stay far away from those type of women. Like, you know, and fortunately, it's most of these women, not all, but most of these women are not that attractive. So so it's not going to be that hard.
Which is a big part of why they actually got to where they are.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because a lot of them, they started out as attention whores, and once they realized they wasn't getting like attention, like that carnal, you know, sexual attention, they decided to become feminists so they can get attention in a different way.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, real talk. Real fucking talk.
They resent the fact that no one finds them attractive.
Right. Because the only reason, you know, women really are annoyed by, like, dudes coming, hollering at them in the street, you understand what I'm saying, is usually women who don't get that much attention in the street. And or if they do get attention, it's usually from guys who are like bums and dusty motherfuckers. You understand? So they're mad that the guy that they want, the guy they really want to approach them, is not approaching them. So then therefore they ruin it for every other woman and say, oh, we just don't like that stuff. It's harassment and we're just trying to walk and go through our day and some guy comes up and tells us to smile and yada, 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 so forth and so on and all that nonsense. So, you know, you're going to, if you run across these social justice warrior, feminist type of motherfuckers, is just, you just got to keep it moving, right?
Keep it moving.
But anyway, so the next type of chick is the shy girl, okay? The shy chick, all right? So these are the type of chicks who they're nervous sort of when you're around them or you try to holler at them, right? So a lot of guys, they get confused because they think that they confuse nervousness with disinterest. Right. And so it's a fine line. You got to sort of like understand what's really going on. You understand? Because a girl who's not interested would more so do something like, let's say you approach her, she'll seem shy, but then she'll sort of just walk away from you, or she'll you know, ignore you for the rest of the time you're around her. Like, let's say you're at a party, try to talk to this girl, she seems all shy, but then she's like sort of backing away, but then she stops, you know, she stops paying attention to you. That's sort of like she's not interested. You understand? Now, a shy girl, you know, who's actually interested, she'll act shy, but what happens is that once you sort of remove yourself from the situation, she'll periodically look at you. She'll see what you're doing every few seconds.
You'll find her following you around the party.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Or she'll just happen to show up where you're standing.
Right, you know what I mean? So she's into you, but she's shy, so she doesn't really know how to, like, act in that case. You understand?
And she's, real quick, she's the, like, most girls in general are, you think you're afraid of rejection? Like, chicks are deathly afraid. Like, they can't deal with rejection.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Now these girls are like some of the, like, the what you would call, like, the highest, you know what I'm trying to say, like the most extreme example of this,
right? Where
it's like they don't even want to, like, you know, put themselves in a situation where you might not like what they have to talk about, or you might not like the sound of their voice. Like, they're super self-conscious and they don't want to make any waves because, you know, it's a part of their shyness.
Right, exactly. So, you know, with the shy girl, what you got to understand is that you can still get with her. You understand? Right. But you have to first see if she's actually a shy girl or just a girl that's not into you. Right. And if you realize that she's just on some shy type of stuff, what you need to do is that you need to sort of, like, be a little bit more persistent in a certain way, because as you're being persistent and, you know, not on some, like, aggressive stuff, but just sort of, like, you know, you're just being a little assertive, because what happens is usually she starts to open up a little bit more, right, and she starts to get more comfortable, and then therefore things go down.
Here's a small part of how you can still close the deal with a shy girl. What you really have to do is you may have to talk to them for a little while, because we have a good friend of ours that talked to chicks till 2 in the morning.
Oh yeah,
or no shit, 5 in the morning.
He'll talk to them all damn night.
Fucking night. God damn, I hate Anyway, but the point is, you talk to the girl or look at her body language or something about her dress, and what you're looking for is something to bring out her confidence.
Right.
So let's just say she has a lot of tattoos, or let's just say she has I don't know, she has a knitted sweater and she knitted it herself.
Right.
Because she's she loves knitting, and knitting allows her to be expressive, and it takes her to a place where she's confident. Then you have to talk about knitting. You have to be like, oh, I like knitting and it's fun, and my mom used to knit, and you understand what I'm saying? So basically you find a piece of her where she actually, let me see, you remember that old movie,
which one?
Nightmare on Elm Street, I think it was part 3.
Right.
And everybody, you young kids listening, you might not know what the fuck I'm talking about, but the point I'm trying to make is that everybody, the way that they fought, Freddy's like an evil guy, he comes and kills you in your dream. In their dreams, they had a subconscious thing that made them strong. Right. So they fought Freddy in the realm of that thing. So what I'm saying, for the shy girl, that's how you get to close a deal with a shy girl. Right. You find out what makes her, there's something that she does or likes or whatever, an interest that she has that makes her confident. And if you can find that out, then you can bring that out of her and then make her confident and comfortable with you.
Exactly. Real fucking talk, man. Shit. All right, so the next girl we got is the shit tester.
Oh my god.
Okay?
I fucking hate this bitch.
And now, a lot of times people, guys think that every girl shit tests. Every girl doesn't shit test. You understand? Girls will test you in certain ways, but a lot, every girl doesn't shit test, right? So, but the shit tester, right? All she, this is a chick who's sort of giving you shit as you are trying to holler at her. Now, I got to, point out some different shit, because this is the thing that guys don't understand, right? Now, the way that a woman shit tests you says a lot about her character. Right. So, guys think that when a girl is being a bitch, they're like, oh, she's just shit testing you. Yes, she is shit testing you, but she's a bitch. You understand what I'm saying? So don't think, because that's they try to think, well, she's just shit testing, so that doesn't make her a bitch. No, she's a bitch. You understand what I'm saying?
And she needs to be charged.
Right. So and then you have women who shit test you, but they're not bitches. Do you understand? So for example, a bitch will shit test you like this. Like, you go up to her and you be like, hey miss, how you doing? How's your night going? I don't feel like talking to you. Get away from me. You understand? Like, stop. Like, she's that. Right? That's a bitch shit testing you, right? Now, a woman who's not a bitch, this is how she shit tests you. You be like, hey miss, how you doing? How's your night going? She's like, oh, I'm fine. She's like, how you doing? And you're like, I'm good. I'm good now that I got to talk to you. You looking all good and all of that. She's like, oh, you think you saying I look good? You probably said that to all the other girls. How I know you really, saying that to me because you like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's being playful. She's sort of giving you shit, but she's not being a bitch. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's a difference. So you guys got to always look out for that difference to figure out, is this girl a bitch or is she not a bitch? You understand what I'm saying? Right. Through her shit testing. Right. And then you'll see it, because there's always a vibe, there's a tone. There's a playful tone with the shit, and that's how you should, those are the type of girls you really need to keep fucking with if they shit testing you. Right. The other girls who are bitches, fuck them. You understand what I'm saying?
Charge into the game. Like with the regular or / playful shit tester. Right. The way to close the deal with her is to basically keep your cool and just be playfully persistent. Right. You just just whatever she throws at you, just kind of throw it back at her, and and they'll respect you for it, because they see that you, because really what a shit tester is, she's actually somewhat of a shy girl. Mm-hmm. Again, because females, they fear rejection so much. Right. They shit test you to make sure you actually are willing to go through some type of work. Right. To show that you have some sort of real interest in them.
Right. Exactly.
Because they know a lot of us, a lot of guys just, you know,
We'll just
sometimes
say
we
whatever.
practicing,
Right, yeah,
or
we-
we say whatever just because, or
Right.
you know, we didn't really give a fuck. But it's like, yo, she got a fat ass, and I'm just trying to holler or whatever.
Right.
But this chick kind of wants to know, yo, are you really interested in me, or you just fucking with me, wasting my time? You
Right,
see what I'm saying?
exactly. So you know, so you got to know if you're dealing with a shit tester. Make sure you can know the difference if she's a bitch or not. If she's a bitch, then don't fuck
Charge
with that
her.
chick. You understand? So
Yep.
that is what it is. Now the next chick is the frontin' ass chick. Okay. Oh, Jesus. They be fronting like a motherfucker. So this is the girl who she shows interest, you know, but she doesn't really take it to the next level.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like she'll show some interest in you, meaning like, you know, y'all be flirting, y'all could be you know, flirting heavy, y'all can even be kissing at this point.
Right.
And you try to take her home and she's like, you know, I don't know. Or she's like, she's showing interest, like she wants to go.
Right.
And then, like, as you're about to go, as you're about to leave the club or the bar, she's like, oh, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure. Or she'll get all the way to your house. Y'all about to do something. And she's like, you know, I'm not sure. I don't know. You know, so, like, she wants to do shit. She's entertaining the idea of making something happen. But she's just not really... like she's not closing it. She's not you know, doing what she needs to do to solidify the situation.
Yep.
You see what I'm
She's
saying?
lying to herself.
Right.
And to me, I mean, you know, Mr. Lucario, you have way more experience than me. So, but to me, like, these chicks are really tricky.
Right.
Because a lot of times it could go either way, and then it could also go your way at that night, and then you wake up in the morning and hear some dumb shit.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So these are tricky chicks. My rule of thumb is, if you're not really comfortable, charge it.
Right. And I would say
Mhm.
this: if you're dealing with a frontin' ass chick, what you want to do is that you want to once you see that she's fronting, you gotta fall back and make her come to you.
Like, right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Make
if
her
you
show interest.
Right. So if you kissing her and all that shit, and you like, yeah, let's go back to my spot, whatever, and then she's like, oh, I don't know, blah blah blah, and all this other stuff, and then so you know you stop kissing her, you fall back, you just start talking to her regular. You understand? And then you know you be like, yeah, you know, I think I'm gonna just head home. It's getting kind of late,
Right.
blah blah blah. And she might be like, but you know, and then she start coming on to you. So as she's coming on to you, you say, all right, cool, let's go back to my place. Then you go back to your place, and then let's say she's still sort of fronting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You don't do nothing. You just chill on the couch, talking to her regular. You ain't really making nothing happen. And then as she's going to do it, then make her do it. You see what I mean? So it's kind of like,
Would it be good to, like, you know, just chill on the couch and pull your dick out?
yeah, you could do that too.
You could do that, right?
You could do that too.
Yeah,
But just don't put her hand on your dick.
No, don't
let
touch her.
Let her
Don't
do
touch
it.
her.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like come out, just be like, yeah, I'm gonna get a little more comfortable. I'm gonna take off these pants and just have my boxers on.
Yeah.
You know, and just chill. I'm not even, you know. So the thing is that you want her to be the one that's doing most of the initiating. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because one of two things that happen. She's gonna do a whole bunch of initiating to the point where, you know, it's almost like it was her idea. You feel what I'm saying? You want it to
Right.
be like it's her idea. So then when it goes down, you understand? It's more like, okay, well, she wanted it to go down because it was her idea.
Right.
Two, what happens is, let's say it doesn't go down. If it doesn't go down, then it doesn't go down, but at least you didn't really push it. So she can't say, oh, well, you were pressuring me.
Right.
You were doing it. You know what I mean? You were basically falling back all the time. You see what I'm saying?
Try not to let the frontin' ass chick have too much alcohol and then go home with you.
Right.
Because she's a frontin' ass chick and she's lying to herself, she'll want to blame it on the alcohol,
Right.
and then say that you took advantage of her.
Exactly. So you got to be
avoid
careful.
That.
You
Avoid
got to
that. Make
be
sure,
careful,
Make sure
man.
she's sober.
You got to be careful. So now the next chick that we're going to talk about is the chick who has a stink fucking attitude.
A CWA.
I had to put the lightning on that one.
A CWA, a cunt with an attitude.
Exactly.
Chick with an attitude.
So you know
that word is crazy.
these chicks, like, yo,
They get
last
triggered.
night I was out,
Yep.
right? You know, out at these spots and with one of my boys and shit. We chilling, talking to these girls or whatever.
Right.
And so there was these two girls in the spot, and you know they were like decent. You know what I'm saying?
Like most of them are.
Yeah, right. Like,
Right.
they got some nice clothes on, so they look. Because, like, like how you have some girls that are just bad.
Right.
Then you have the girls who they look good, but they look good because they're dressed up. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's the
And that's
environment.
most of them.
Right. So it was like those type of chicks, right?
The
So
environment, the lighting.
right. So these two girls is there. So me and my boys is talking to a whole bunch of different chicks, here and there. So these two girls, we turn around, we see these two girls like near us, right? So they were like taking pictures on their phone and all that dumb shit.
Right.
So I go up to the girl and I was like, hey, how what's going on? How's your night going? Right? And she was like, she looked at me up and down. She's like, we're doing just fine. Just like that. Like she was insulted that I even talked to her, and she was just like, I'm already done with the conversation with you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, don't talk to me type of thing. So me and my boy looked at each other and we just started busting out laughing in front of them. You know what I'm saying? And then we started talking to these two other chicks next to them. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what you gotta do, right?
That's what you do.
So the thing is, you got these chicks who they just have an attitude problem because too many dudes been sucking their butt all the time.
All the time.
So a lot of women have this idea that they're like sort of above you. You understand? Or that they can. Let me tell you some other shit that happened. And I hate when this bullshit happens, right? So, and this goes to sort of like, with chicks who they think they're like, want some above you shit, or they and this could be another type of chick, but I just wanted to go on a tangent real quick. Is that, so this chick, I guess she was halfway drunk or tipsy or whatever. So like when you in those spots where it's crowded and people sort of bumping into each other, and then the liquor sort of falls. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think what happened was, I'm talking to some other girl, right? So this girl, out of the blue, tries to take my hat off, right? So she's taking my hat off. As she's taking my hat off, I grab her arm and I'm like, "What are you doing?" Right? And she's like, "Oh my God, you spilled some of my drink on my shoulder." And then she takes my hat and tries to wipe her shoulder that has liquor on it with my hat.
Oh my God.
And so I looked at her and I said, "Yo, what are you doing?" You know what I'm saying? So I like yanked the hat out of her hand, and I think there was a dude that was, I don't know if that was her man or just some dude that was trying to holler, but he was like sort of with her. I said, "Bro," I said, "talk to your girl." You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I kind of like pushed her to the side. I took my hand and I put it next to her waist, and I sort of like gently slid her to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just like, but see, the reason why she did that, took my hat, like felt comfortable taking my hat off,
right,
and to wipe her fucking shit with my hat, is because so many dudes have been sucking her butt that she thinks she can, interact with men any way she wants. Wow. You see what I'm saying? So you gonna have chicks on that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, man. And I'm just like, so but you got chicks out here, they got the attitude problems. You got chicks out here that, they think they're above you. And that's the thing with the girls with attitudes, is that the reason why they have the attitude is because they think they're above you. They are angry just in general, because this is what happens. The girls with the attitudes, they overestimate their value. Do you understand? So what happens is they get a lot of guys who approach them and talk to them who they think are beneath them. You see, like it goes. So they think that, I can get better than him. Why is this guy coming up to me?
And they take it as an insult.
Exactly, and so then that's attitude comes grows.
Their negative attitude or their negative disposition in the dating game gets worse and worse.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's where that attitude comes from, because they women confuse the attention they get for guys actually liking them or them being, interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's either that, or they know that dudes don't give a fuck, but they're trying to sort of lie to themselves to feel better about themselves and feel like guys actually do give a fuck. Because, I believe most women, just like we were saying earlier with the shit test, I believe most women know that most guys don't give a fuck like that, because over time when they start dating and they notice that guys are just fucking them and leaving. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
They're like, damn, like these guys really don't give a fuck, which adds to their attitude. You see what I'm saying? Because here goes another guy who doesn't give a fuck, who I feel like I'm, who's I feel like it's beneath me, and I'm still waiting for Channing Tatum and Ryan Gosling to come and save me, even though I'm a basic bitch. You feel what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ.
So, so you got the chicks with the attitude is on some bullshit. But anyway, so the next the chick we got on the list is the crazy emotional chick. Okay?
Charge.
Exactly. You just got to charge. We ain't got to say no more about that. That's just a chick. She's just emotional, just period. You feel what I'm saying?
She might not have an attitude.
Right.
She'd just be either crying or whining, or something bad just happened to her. She just lost a job, and she wants to dump all this fucking crazy like nonsense on you and tell you a whole bunch of shit that has nothing to do with you. Right.
So you got to charge them chicks in the game if they on some crazy emotional shit, and you can tell a lot of times it's just in their demeanor, just in the way they take things. You know what I'm saying? Certain girls, you say one thing and it's a big deal. They get all upset. You ever have a conversation or a debate with a chick, and she gets so emotional that she starts crying in the conversation? Yeah. You're like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, we were just talking. Why are you so upset?
Remember that time we was having a conversation with the chick, and we was in the car,
right?
And we was at a red light, and the chick, she got so mad that she ran out the car.
Right.
She jumped out the car, slammed the door, and ran away.
Right.
And we was like, yo. And we were just talking about some regular shit.
Right. And just because she's so emotional, she took the shit all personal, and then it's like, so you don't really want to fuck with those chicks.
You know what it remind me of? If anybody ever saw that movie, Vanilla Sky.
Right.
That's where the scene where, and check the movie out. It has a little bit to do with relationships and stuff. Is a scene where Cameron Diaz, she crashes the car.
He crashes the car with Tom Cruise in it.
Tom Cruise had sex with her without a condom.
Right.
And she thought that meant they were in love.
Yeah, because what did she say? She said, you came in my mouth, or you came in me, or
you came inside me.
That means something.
That means something. And she was breathing real hard and very crazy emotional. And she drove the car off a bridge, son.
Mm-hmm. So you got to be careful with these.
Be careful out there.
These crazy emotional chicks. Now, the next chick we have is a personal favorite of mine, because it's just funny. This is the friendly talkative chick. The friendly talkative chick.
I like those too.
And this is the thing though. This type of chick confuses many men.
True.
Because the friendly talkative girl is the girl she's very friendly. She smiles at you. Mm-hmm. She's polite. So you think she likes you.
Right.
You think she's interested.
Right.
You think she wants the D.
Exactly.
But she's just being friendly.
Right.
She's just being nice.
Can be very confusing.
She's just being nice. That's just how she's just giving off that friendly vibe. You understand? Right. And it's funny. They even have girls who fall into this category who are tourists. Like, I always notice this with a lot of Asian tourists, where like if you meet, especially if you're a black guy or something else, like if you meet a chick who's from Hong Kong or something and she's visiting the city or the states, mm-hmm. and you're at a club or at a bar or something, and you meet her and you talk to her, and she'll be real friendly to you.
Right.
You understand? Because she's foreign. She's foreign. It's like, but she's not really interested. She'll just smile and nod, and she'll talk to you, but you think, oh shit, she's smiling, she's nodding, and this is going down, but she's not really, she's not really interested. She's being friendly also, maybe because of fear. She's like, well, if I don't be nice to this guy,
right,
he's gonna do something to me.
He's crazy American. He might do so.
Exactly. So you got to know when you're talking to
everything
the friendly.
You say is yes.
You got to know when you're talking to the friendly talkative chick, because go ahead.
I said that she's a favorite of mine. Only because it's usually a decent time.
Right.
It's usually a good exchange.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes when you're out and you're not really taking it all serious, you just want to meet somebody, to just exchange some ideas with and just have a good exchange.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Just have a good interaction. And I could get with the talkative, friendly chick, because being a entrepreneur, business owner and stuff, a lot of times you can find resources from people like that. You know, so that gets into the networking part.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why I like the friendly talk.
And the fact that she's actually is friendly.
You feel? You
know what I'm saying?
It's a welcome change from all your Ashley Judds and your attitudes and your
crazy bitches and all that. Shits. You know what I'm saying? So you know, so it's cool to you know, even have that dialogue with those friendly chicks. Those chicks are good to even practice your game on, because you know they're so receptive that you can go back and forth and work on your verbal skills and you know and all that other good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's a good part about that. Now the next chick is the world famous attention whore. Okay, the attention whore. We hear about the attention whore all the time. You know. Like, what more can we even say about the attention whore that we haven't said before?
Charge.
Exactly. You just charge it to the game because that's all you can do. Because an attention whore is an extreme time waster. You understand?
Oh, my God.
That's like she has her master's degree in time wasting.
They're worse than a bitch with the attitude to me.
Right.
Because when you wasting my time.
Right.
Let me tell you something. Real quick. Think about the fact that literally what we're, you know, they call this living, right? But another way to look at it is we're dying.
Real talk.
We're dying slowly, right?
Right.
Now, if the doctor told you had 10 minutes to live, right? And you went around the corner, you just left the doctor's office,
right?
And you meet a fucking attention whore bitch.
Right, exactly.
And she's flirting with you, and she's acting, and you're like, look, I need to fuck something before I die. I got 10 minutes to live. And she wastes 3 minutes of your life just because she wanted you to show her some attention, but she had no intentions of fucking you.
Right, exactly.
How pissed would you be?
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I look at how much time I have left on this earth, and the fact that you're wasting my time, you're literally speeding up my death.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That shit hurts so bad. I'd rather you have an attitude so I could charge you immediately, and we don't have to waste each other's time.
Exactly.
Oh my
Real
God.
fucking talk. So the attention whore is just the bane of every man's existence. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta understand that. So when you see an attention whore, and this is how you can spot an attention whore a lot of times. An attention whore is usually very like extreme with her energy. You understand? Like very extreme with like she because she needs attention at all costs. She can't be laid back, because a laid back chill thing is not going to get the attention like that. You know what I'm saying?
The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like she can't. And this is the thing. An attention whore usually don't have that much of an attitude. Actually, an attention whore is like she's almost like the friendly, talkative woman, but with no substance and no purpose. You understand what I'm saying? So she's like, that's basically what it is.
Exactly.
Because she's gonna be somewhat like receptive to you, because she needs to be receptive enough for you to continue to give her attention. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you'll notice that, you know, she'll be on that, like, you know, type of vibe, but what you will notice is that she doesn't really take anything further. See, the friendly, talkative girl, she'll sort of tell you at some point, or it'll be shown that she's just being friendly. She's not really interested at that point. The attention whore will pretend, if she needs to be interested in you, just to get more attention. Like, whatever she needs to do to keep the attention going, she'll do it. You understand? She'll tease you. She'll be like, oh, like, you'll be like, I really, I'm into girls who are like, you know, really free sexually. She'd be like, oh yeah, I'm just like that. I'm like that. You know, when I meet a guy and, you know, I really like him, I just want to get all up in him and do this and do that. And then you're thinking, oh yeah, then what's up? And as soon as you try to touch her, she'd be like, oh, you know, I don't know, like, I don't think I should be doing this. And you're just like, what the fuck? Because and then when she sees you backing away or losing interest, she like maybe will like try to grab you up or something, or sit on your lap, or you know what I'm saying? You see what I mean? Like, they do that bullshit.
They do that shit. You remember? I think it was a while back. Some guy, I think it was a subscriber email, and he was like, how the chick sits on his lap and stuff.
Right.
But
right.
then, like, when he actually is like, yo, let's go on a date and do this, she like, nah,
right.
I see you as a friend.
Right. All that bullshit. You see what I'm saying?
Sitting on my lap for a bitch. That's straight attention whore.
So an attention whore's goal in life is attention at all costs.
At all costs.
Without having to even really do anything. You understand? Because, see, a real true to the game attention whore will never fuck you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So if she fucks you, she's not really an attention whore because she's giving back. You understand what I'm saying? She's giving you something. You understand? Meaning that she's reciprocating. Mm-hmm. But an attention whore, all she's doing is setting up things for you to give her more attention while she's giving you nothing. You see what I'm saying? She's not giving you any substance as far as personality or any type of thing that you can use in real life. She's not giving you any sex. So what is her purpose? You see what I mean? There's no purpose. You feel what I mean? So
half the time, during the conversation, they don't ask you any questions.
Right.
Like, they just keep talking about themselves.
Right.
Like, as long as you're sitting there listening.
Right.
And asking more and more questions, they'll keep talking about themselves.
Right.
Oh, my God.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Oh, and that's why we say, in the game, you got to be able to close the deal in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to be able to close the deal, because sometimes you're dealing with an attention whore and you don't know it. Like, you think you're having a great interaction,
right?
But she's just an attention whore. So you keep asking her questions like, "Oh, where you from? What your family do?" And keep asking, and she'll answer every fucking question because she loves the attention, man.
Right, exactly. So attention whores charge they ass to the game. You feel me?
Yep.
So now we got two more left. So this next one is the best. This is the holy grail. I gotta put on some thunder and lightning. This is some real shit right here.
Yeah, exactly. There's thunder and lightning.
This is the real shit right here.
Only sometimes.
This is the real shit right here. So the next girl is the submissive, cooperative chick. Yes, we gotta have a round of applause. Heavy. Listen, these are the girls that remind you that the other girls you were fucking with was on some bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, these are the women. These are the women who make it easy for you. These are the women who show you that, when they really want a guy and they like a guy, they're going to just do what they got to do. These are the women who apologize to you just out of the blue because they want to make sure you're feeling good and you're having a good time. I love hearing a woman, like, apologize to me. And she didn't even need to. Like, she'll be like, we'll be chilling and, she'll be like, oh, I'm sorry that... No, like, even I remember I had this girl one time where she gave me head. But she gave me head multiple times.
Right.
But most of the time, she would go down, for like a good, like, 10 minutes. You feel what I'm saying? Like, heavy. And one time, I think she had, like, she was either coming down with a cold or something or sick and everything. And so she was like, she had a stuffy nose. So she said, yo, I'm sorry, but, I apologize. I can't give you head today.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, like, she was actually apologizing for that. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's okay.
So I can't breathe through my nose today, so
right.
I can't deep throat like how I usually
exactly.
do.
Like,
I'm so sorry for that.
And it's just like,
and
I'm just like, that's beautiful.
That warms my heart.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, these are the best chicks. The chicks who just make it. You say, yo, let's go out on a date. She says, cool, let's do it. And you say, we're going to meet up at Friday at 8 o'clock. She gets there at 7:59. You feel what I'm saying? And she's just, we got to give that a hand clap, man. You got to give it a hand clap.
Those are the ones that remind you that that the work is worth it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Those are the chicks. Those are the champions.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying?
Those are the ones that end up getting married.
Right.
Sooner or later.
Those are the ones you need to make your girl if you're trying to have a girlfriend.
Yep.
You understand? Like, that's the type of chicks you need to fuck with. So the submissive, cooperative chicks are the shit. We love you, ladies. You're the greatest of all time, okay? Now, the last thing we're going to talk about and this is interesting, is the open-minded chick.
Ooh, okay.
Those are very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a lot of different types of open-mindedness.
Right.
And this is the thing. These are the type of girls who are coachable. These are the type of girls you can upgrade. These are the type of girls you can mold into the type of women you want.
Right.
Because they have an open mind.
Right.
And they're ready to receive game. You feel what I'm saying?
And the special part about these chicks is that they're only as good as you make them. Which is why, again, it all comes from within. The truth is inside you, my friend.
Right.
You have to work on you. So when you meet this open-minded chick, or even the submissive chick,
right,
you can actually have something to submit to her.
Right.
So she can follow. And the open-minded chick, she will mirror. If she likes your vibe and your energy,
right, she
will mirror your strength and your confidence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You go up to her and be like, yo, let's get out of here and go run around in the rain or some shit. I mean, I'm just throwing something out there, but say it's raining, they out inside something, they be like, yo, let's go out there and go run around in the rain and just remember what nature feels like or some shit like that.
Right.
Open-minded chick be like, hell yeah, let's go. And you look at her like, I ain't expect for you to even say that.
Right, exactly. They just get it popping.
But don't look at her too long like that. Just grab her up, go outside in the rain, and then there's a reason to go take your clothes off because your clothes are wet. You feel me?
Right.
See where I'm going with this?
And the thing the thing that's great about the open-minded chick is that, like, for example, because I'm in an open relationship, right? So I meet women. That's necessary. I meet women, and the ones who are this is the difference. You have women who are closed-minded. So you have girls who I meet, and they see. This is the funny part. They'll see that I have a ring on, right? So now, is one thing if I was like, yeah, I'm cheating on my girl, we're monogamous, and then they'll be like, oh, that's messed up, and you shouldn't do that. I could understand that, right? But some girls, they see the ring and they're like, wait a second, you have a wife? And I'm like, yeah, I got a wife. We're in an open relationship. So the open-minded girls are like, oh, that's interesting. Tell me about that. What is that about? Blah, blah, blah. Like, they want to know. They want to learn. You understand? Right. The closed-minded women, they basically tell me I'm wrong. You understand?
Right.
And that's the part that's crazy about it, because their mind is so closed that I'm telling them, no, it's actually okay. Like, me and my wife agreed to this.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're saying, no, that's wrong because you have to be with one woman and you have to be... So they have a closed-minded thought process.
Right.
So those women, I can't fuck with because they're not coachable. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because their mind is closed. The open-minded woman, right, she's actually intrigued to learn about something. So you can even step to a girl and say, yo, look, man, I got a lot of things going on. I got some, I'm working on some things. I got a business I'm running. And look, I only have enough time to do this and this and that. But if you want to roll with me, you understand, I'm working on these projects. And I think you have the talent to roll with me and work with this so we could both, build together. You feel what I'm saying?
And
so
benefit,
that open-minded girl, she's going to be like, yo, I see where you're going. I see what you're saying. Let's make this happen. Let's see what we could do. Let's work together. Let's make something happen. Right. So her mind is so open because she's like, okay, she sees that what could be. You feel what I'm saying? Versus a closed-minded chick who's like, she's just looking at you where you're at now. Right. You feel what I'm saying? And if because
she doesn't understand it,
right,
you're wrong.
Right, exactly. Right. So
stupid.
So yeah, so the open-minded chicks are the shit. So make sure you guys look out for that. But yeah, I think we're done. Anything else you want to say, Miles?
Well, I just want to say real quick that here is the interesting part about this whole topic is that all of these chicks exist in every woman you're gonna meet.
Right.
You understand? And there's probably even more we didn't even list here. The fact that the reason why I'm pointing that out is because, and I don't. It'll sound like a shameless plug. You understand? But again, the bad boy membership is so important because you can meet any of these chicks at any given time.
Right.
And even when you're dating a girl, she can transform into any of these chicks at any given time.
Right.
And you have to know how to deal with her.
Right.
So you have to have some type of basis to live a lifestyle, to be able to manage these different kinds of patterns
Right.
and dynamics of how a female operates, you know, and it all starts from within, you know, like especially with something like the open-minded chick, and even the like the shit tester or whoever, like you have to have control of yourself, so you can actually know how to deal with these different. It's like obstacles,
Right.
I was talking to you about that today. There was this old game show called Double Dare,
right?
And it was one of those game shows, like a family game show, where the major thing was like going through a bunch of obstacles to get to the reward, so your family could win a bunch of money. It's something kind of like American Ninja Warrior today,
Right?
But just more fun because it was a family thing,
right?
And not as athletic. But the point I'm trying to make is you have to train your game muscle. You understand? You have
right.
to train your game muscle to be able to adapt to different situations. And this list of females, what we gave you today, is a part of that. And the way you carry on that type of what's the word? Like, I guess tutelage or knowledge or just overall like game and being able to adapt and adjust to all of this is using something like the Bad Boy membership to your advantage. So
right.
we, you know, it's a very viable thing for you to look at. All right.
Right.
So I just wanted to say that. So, you know, www.badboymembership.com.
Real talk. All right. So guys, listen. Make sure you go to Bad Boy Membership. Also, make sure you hit up undeniablegame.com to get the free audio program. Also, make sure you look out for the Mr. Lucario 30-minute game sessions. It will be out next week, okay?
Ooh, dope.
Probably sooner, but it's going to be out definitely next week, and we're going to get that popping. So if you want that one-on-one private coaching session, make sure you hit me up. Also, hit me up at mrlucario@gmail.com if you want to basically, like, you know, be first in line, because we're going to have a lot of people, you know, so I want you guys to hit me up, send an email, just be like, you know, put game session in the subject, and then put your name in the body of the email, and then I'll have you as the first people that I send the links to so that you can sign up and make it happen.
And remember, the special part about those one-on-one coaching sessions is that it will be a personalized product for you to download, and you can review it.
Right, because we're gonna record it.
Yep.
It's gonna be recorded, and you get to listen to it over and over again. It's gonna be for you, and you know, so it's gonna be your specific questions, your specific dating, you know, dilemmas that you're having. You know, so because for example, a lot of times on the live stream that I do on YouTube, people call in all the time, but it's like they don't have enough time to really get enough time to dig deep into what they want to say and to what they need help on. So if you were the type of person who's trying to get it online, or you only had like a short amount of time to do it, then this is the time for you to really get it going, because you have the whole time for you. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's pretty much it, guys. We will see you guys next time, and remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. We gone.
Peace.
Later. Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Lucario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.